From rare supercars, multi-million-dollar homes, and even expensive watches, this is how Eminem spends his millions. Eminem is one of the greatest rappers of all time, having a net worth of $250 million. He has spent his fortune wildly, starting with his ridiculous $4 million car collection, as Eminem splurged all over the place from buying high-end vehicles such as a Porsche Carrera GT. This vehicle costed him $400,000, as the vehicle also resells on secondary markets for over $1 million. This is because it was only produced back in 2004, with only 1,200 of them ever being made. This Porsche is a perfect collector's item for all car lovers because it's got the speed and luxury by reaching 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds, while also hitting top speeds of 205 miles an hour. It's also powered by a 5.7 V10 engine. Although continuing with Eminem's car collection, he has also purchased the Ferrari 599 GTO. With only 599 ever being produced, this one was hand-delivered by Ferrari to Eminem's driveway. This is one of the rarest vehicles in the entire world. It has a clock speed up to 208 miles an hour, as the cost of the car alone in today's market will run you $750,000. Although he would also pick up another vehicle produced in the early 2000s. This would be none other than the 2005 Ford GT, coming with a price of $350,000 for this luxury vehicle. It was no cheap pickup, but just like his other rides, it speeds well over the 200 miles an hour mark, and it also crushes 0 to 60 in just 3.4 seconds. However, the fastest car in the collection would be none other than his Lamborghini Aventador, as Eminem reportedly spent $530,000 to get this vehicle. He had to get the Aventador as it is one of the most iconic supercars in the entire world, hitting speeds up to 217 miles an hour on the road. However, Eminem would come in with another Porsche, as this would be none other than the GT2 RS, costing him another $330,000, but he did it for a specific reason. This vehicle has extreme acceleration built into the ride, as it hits up to 60 miles an hour in just 2.6 seconds. However, to change it up, Eminem would also purchase an Aston Martin Vanquish. This would add another top-of-the-line vehicle to his collection, as this ran Eminem $260,000 just for the ride. Eminem also picked up a classic McLaren MP4. This costed him $220,000 added to his garage, as it is his sixth vehicle that can hit over 200 miles an hour. With all of these supercars, Eminem pays people to drive them year-round. This is why he also finished off his garage with an Audi R8 Spider, coming at a cost of $360,000. Eminem loves to have many supercars in his garage, as it helps him with motivation with continuing work and creating music. However, moving on from his cars would be Eminem's real estate portfolio, which is absolutely insane. Eminem has owned a massive mansion in Rochester Hills, Michigan. He originally purchased the home for $4.7 million. It spans across 17,500 square feet. It sits on over 5 acres of land, coming in with 5 bedrooms and 5 baths. The home is extremely lavish. At the front of the home, you'll pull into a circular driveway that leads to the grand front door. Stepping into the house, you enter a giant wood-finished room, which is featuring a fireplace and a massive screen for watching his favorite TV shows. The room alone is designed with an incredibly unique way and even features a giant piano on the other side of it. Although just behind the piano, you would enter in the game room, which features a pool table and some couches and a specially designed ceiling pattern. Then heading into the dining room, the house has an extremely long dinner table, fitting upwards to 20 people, and even has a chandelier hanging over the famous table. Then jumping into the living room, it features 2 large couches, a giant fireplace, a special sky-painted ceiling, and the fireplace also features another living room on the other side of the wall. It's designed with stone upwards to the ceiling and has multiple couches in the room. Heading upstairs, there's a railing that overlooks the entire downstairs living room, but the upstairs holds a sauna room for Eminem to relax in. This was costing him $25,000 to install within his home. However, he wanted to upsize it, so the upsized version costed him $50,000. Then jumping into Eminem's master bedroom, this is a massive room, huge bed, TV, and a desk. This leads out into the walkout balcony as well outside. Although into the master bathroom, it is way bigger than most people's bedrooms or even homes, because it has a huge sink in a cabinet area, which leads into his shower that has curved glass all around it, while also having a soaker tub just behind the shower. There's also a lavish living room upstairs with giant chairs to relax in. Then heading back to his kitchen, it is fully furnished with white cabinets and has 2 of everything. He has 2 fridges, 2 ovens, and 2 dishwashers, while also having 2 islands in the center of the room. If this wasn't special enough, the sink even has a skylight window right above it to let in the natural light. life. Then heading into the basement of the home is a massive training area fit with all kinds of gym equipment to work out with. Eminem never has to even leave the house to stay in shape. However, if you follow Eminem's driveway around the house, it leads you into the guest house. It has a huge living room to relax in, kitchen, and a bedroom upstairs. In Eminem's backyard, he has a large in-ground pool that has multiple levels to it with a waterfall. Also in the backyard is a gazebo to relax in. However, if you continue following the path leading away from the pool and gazebo, you would then come across a full-size tennis court and doubles as a basketball court. It's very safe to say that Eminem's purchase for $4.7 million was worth it, although Eminem also owns a secondary house in a suburb just out of Detroit. Back in the year 2000, he purchased this home for $1.4 million. It reportedly acts as his main residence as well. With the purchase being made over 20 years ago, there's almost no information ever released on the inside of this house. However, with Eminem owning the house, it's safe to assume it's very luxurious on the inside. However, that would end his real estate portfolio being worth around $6 million. What's even crazier is Eminem's jewelry collection, as he has a famous connection with Rolex. Starting out with the Rolex watch that he wore at Super Bowl 56 during the halftime show, it is an extremely rare Rolex Datejust in an 18-karat yellow gold, accompanied by a 14-karat gold bracelet. Now, this watch would run the average person $25,000 for the piece. However, Rolex gifted it to him as a sign of appreciation. Although not all jewelry is free for the GOAT, as Eminem also had to chuck a light $5,000 towards a plain Rolex Datejust in silver, including on a famous white dial. Eminem even purchased a Rolex Day-Date with a brown dial and diamond hour markers. This would run the rapper $17,000. But his most expensive watch comes from his AP Royal Oak open-worked watch. The watch comes in a gold bracelet, and the dial of the watch is actually a skeleton, meaning it shows the inner workings of the watch. Ever since Eminem purchased it, the watch has actually been discontinued. Right now, the running price for a newish one is $250,000 to $300,000. Eminem also has a solid gold rope chain which he wears in public outings very often. This is a reported $35,000, as it contains upwards to 305 grams of gold. Although outside of his jewelry collection, Eminem is pretty intrigued by buying rare comic books. He's lately purchased a high-quality Amazing Fantasy number 15 Spider-Man book. Originally printed back in 1962, it is an extremely rare comic book, and some auctions have seen it sell for over $1 million. But when you're as rich as Eminem, you can basically grow a passion for collecting almost anything, which is why it is no surprise that Eminem also got into the NFT space, where he dropped a ridiculous $450,000 on a Bored Ape. On top of spending his money in crazy ways for himself, he also does great things by giving his money back to the people in need. In his hometown of Detroit, it will forever hold a special place in his heart, which is why he created his own Marshall Mathers Foundation. This is dedicated to assisting those in Detroit and its surrounding communities. It's been reported, and I quote, "Eminem donates to food banks regularly and is a contributor to the 8 Mile Boulevard Association, which works to build up the public transportation system in Detroit. He also donates regularly to Excellence for Detroit, an organization that helps underprivileged students succeed in college." As Eminem even took the time to sign a sealed Infinite Vinyl record to be put up for auctions, with all proceeds going to charity.